Hey y'all, this is Stephanie with Energy Aligns. Welcome to my Thursday Tarot Insight. Every Thursday I pick one Tarot card that highlights, harnesses the energy of the collective, and then I talk about how we can bring that energy down into our individual lives and use it. And so let's get going. Today I pulled the Temperance card, and bear with me, I've changed my video format, so holding these cards up is going to show up a little bit differently here. So again, we're pulling a major arcana card, and in the past with the Tarot Insights, we pulled a lot of minor arcanas, which is kind of the bits and pieces of our lives, say the nitty gritty, and the major arcana is really big themes, big processes, big cycles, really big for our collective consciousness. So let's talk about the Temperance. I'm going to hold it a little bit closer here and try to get it in the screen. 14. So here we are. How can we remain steady in these times? This is the biggest question that came forward with this card. And it's try to remember that perfection isn't real. And that came through very clear with this card. What are we relying on? What can we rely on? And mostly this card is bringing up more questions than answers. So these questions that I'm pulling out are things to contemplate for your individual self, but also, for the bigger collective. What can remain steady in these times? How can we remain steady in these times? It's difficult, and there isn't perfection in it. That's really, really important to remember. Even in the easiest of times for ourselves or humanity or the collective, it's hard to remain steady. So, of course, we're struggling right now. So, what is the light? You can see in this card the light here. What is the light? Are we relying on it? And we don't really have to just rely on the light. In the last card or the last couple cards, we really talked about going into the darkness and the importance of that, the importance of turning towards the dark, the importance of acknowledging the darkness, because there's more than just the light. So we don't have to rely on just the light. And then another thing that came through in this card is that we are of this realm, which means the earthly realm, and we are of other realms too. And this is kind of maybe a little, woo out there, but it's true. And what does this mean? What does it mean to be part of other realms? It really means to me that there's more going on than what we're seeing with our eyes, what we're feeling in this experience of humanity. There's a bigger picture here. And so it's very, very important this week and into the next week. This actually card, what showed up for the time frame of this card is all the way to the 29th of October, that, it's important to understand or try to understand our place in the universe. And that's a big, big question, right? So it's more of a contemplation, and this contemplation, this answering, if you know the answer for yourself already, is really a huge guidepost for us. It can be a guidepost. It can be a compass for us when we feel that things are too chaotic, they're too fast and confusing, which right now they are. I'm just going to put this card up a little bit closer so you can see it. I have to laugh because the screen and the camera don't actually match. So taking a look at her, really. And, it helps us to really remember here. When I was a kid, I would think about this, and you might have too, that, we are quite possibly hanging upside down, as we're standing on the earth in the bigger picture, right? When you pull back the perspective and you got a chance to look, we could be hanging upside down in space. We are. And, just having that perspective, like, it is wild. So here's the questions now. How can we use this energy in our daily lives? Okay, so the Temperance card. Temperance is all about balance here, the light and the dark, And of course, seeing those things and acknowledging that there's both sides and rebalancing, right? There's no perfection. Like I said, I'll say it again here. There's no perfection, but there's always a constant shifting and rebalancing. And that's really what's happening collectively. So for us as individuals, the questions to ask here are, where and how can you rebalance when you lose your center? How can you rebalance when you lose your center? This could be a whole day of it, a whole week of it, or just a moment of it throughout your day. And the way that we do this is by reflecting and using self-awareness tools. And really about reflection, using what you need to do to kind of go back and go, okay, I got thrown off there, and why, and what can I do next time? And it's not to gain perfection, it's just to bring awareness around what is throwing us off. And so the next thing that we can do to use this energy is to intentionally throw off some energy. So we are energetic beings in these physical bodies. We're all made up of energy. Energy's around us. This is a no-brainer in the work I do. So intentionally throwing off some energy would mean to like move around wildly with your arms, take a walk, do some kind of dance, movement, jumping up and down. These are all intentionally throwing off energy. I quite often do this up in my space when things get too much or too confusing, and that actually will move things that you can't see. And lastly, checking in with yourself regarding your position in your life. So what this means is checking in about a role that you play in the dynamics of work, family, community. You know, the one that shows up when you ask this question is the one to focus on and look at. And asking yourself, does this role I play represent me? Does it represent you, your values, who you are, and especially now that we're in these times, especially who we and you are wanting to be. So awareness in the energetic fields, awareness in this energetic world I'm talking about when we look at tarot cards is key. So you don't always have to do something about what you're becoming aware of, but bringing awareness to it just opens it up so there's space to find answers more naturally, to flow with it more naturally, to make your awakenings going, oh yeah, I never realized I was doing that, or yeah, this does not fit for me anymore. How do I want to show up, and how can I change this? And when we start to see, then we can start to bring in the answers, the help, the guidance more easily and clearly. Okay, thanks for watching my Tarot Insights this Thursday. It is a fast, wild time. Like I said, with this card, there was more questions, honestly, than answers. And that's for us to, really sit with. And I think that's what's being asked of us, to acknowledge, to sit with, to ask questions on the bigger stage, and ask questions of ourselves in our own lives. That's how we're going to get through these times, finding our things that help us come back into balance or feel like we can kind of ground in some way. Learning energetic tools and self-awareness tools are perfect for this kind of time in our lives, because they bring us back to center, and they help us be able to be like, oh yeah, I didn't realize I was so way out there, or I didn't realize there was so much stuff in my space. And then when we practice self-awareness tools like grounding and meditation, we're able to just acknowledge that and bring the awareness around that. Okay, so thanks again, everybody. I'm sending so much love and awareness. And again, I would like to just remind you all, this last part of the year, the next couple months, is really going to just get a little bit more intense and crunchy for all of us. And it's important, if you can, to have some quiet downtime. The way you can do this is through meditation, and I'm just here to offer that I have free meditations on my website, and then for the rest of the year I'm offering a guided meditation that I will send out in my newsletter, and I'm offering my energetic intuitive readings on a sliding scale in support of the awareness, the kind of coming down and in, that's happening for all of us on an individual level. So check out my website, energyaligns.com, if you're interested. And until next Thursday, take good care and deep awareness to all of you. Bye.